This is the Morning Swim Show for Wednesday, December 30th, 2009. I'm your host, Peter Bush. All this week, we're looking back at this year's biggest stories as covered here on the show. Today, our focus is the most controversial swimmer of the year, and we selected Jessica Hardy. Now, you might say Jessica Hardy was controversial in 2008. That's when she tested positive for a banned substance. But this was the year where she became so polarizing because she bounced back from adversity to become one of the most dominant swimmers in the world. Some people have been skeptical about her reemergence, but Hardy has not tested positive since the 2008 Olympic trials, and the American Arbitration Association ruled that she inadvertently took those tainted supplements, and it wasn't her fault. We did a series of interviews with Hardy this year, including her first interview since testing positive at the '08 trials. It must have been devastating for you when you were with the team at training camp, and tell me about when the news was broken to you that one of your samples tested positive.
I was actually asleep in between practices on, I think, like a Monday. On a Monday, I was taking a nap, and my roommate, I was rooming with Rebecca Stoney, and she answered the phone to the room and was told that they needed to wake me up. She needed to wake me up, and I needed to go talk to, call someone from USADA that something was serious, and I was asleep, so I hopped straight up out of bed and went to the team manager's room and started making phone calls to USADA, and that's how I found out. It was intense.
Do you think the clenbuterol helped your performance, even if you did take it inadvertently?
If it did, it didn't do a very good job. I mean, honestly, I didn't swim any faster than I had been swimming all year, and I'd been drug tested many, many, many times, and they were all negative. And I personally don't think it did, because I was swimming faster times in practice. I was swimming faster in meets before that, and I think that I don't know the scientific, meaning behind it, or if it really did affect me, but I didn't feel that different at trials.
After the World Championships in Rome, the world had pretty much become desensitized to world record swims. But then Hardy went to the U.S. Open in Federal Way, Washington for her very first meet since her suspension, and sent shockwaves by setting 2 new world records, including one that beat Rebecca Stoney's 100 breast time from Rome. And shortly after that meet, we interviewed Hardy for the second time this year. Okay, so honest answer, were you surprised that you broke world records last week?
Yeah, I am, because I had a lot going against me last week. It was my first meet in an entire year. And as you know that racing, is kind of a sport in itself, that if you can train all you want, but if you're not used to hearing, the referees pulling you up on the starting blocks and having, that rush of adrenaline before you race, and the nerves and all that was brand new to me again last year. So, last week. So I really didn't expect to even swim that fast, because I was just going to go and relearn it all and just have fun again and get back into it. And I put in a lot of hard work, and I was training really well all year. So I knew, physically I was ready to swim fast, but I was more concerned about other things, not how fast I was going. So it was really a big surprise for me to see that on the scoreboard when I finished.
Is it fair for some people to still be skeptical of what you did last week?
I don't have the answer to that question. If they want to be skeptical, they can be skeptical. It's a free world, free country. I'm the cleanest athlete in the pool out there. I'm 100% sure of it, because all I drink is water, literally. And, if they want to look at the glass half empty, then they're entitled to their opinion. But I know the truth, and I'm very happy with where I am in my life. So that's how I feel.
Were you tested after the world records?
Yeah, I was tested 3 times last week.
How often are you tested?
Tested a lot more now than I was before. Very frequently, and I like that about it, because I think it's a good thing that I'm tested now, and even before, because I have never ever intentionally done anything to cheat, and I never will. And the more times that I can prove that to myself and to the world, I'm I'm happy to do it.
Our third and final interview with Hardy was in early December after she had dominated the World Cup circuit to win the overall points title and that $100,000 check. And after a year that started off so shaky, it was clear that Hardy had come full circle. Now, you did it perfectly. I mean, you just broke your own world record just by, hundredths or tenths each stop, so you keep racking up that prize money.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of did it on purpose. At
Really?
least in the beginning, I tried to pace myself and just do it a little bit at a time, because I knew I had a lot of meets ahead of me still. But then in Stockholm in prelims, I let it loose on accident, and after that I had to try really hard every time. So it was interesting.
Wow, so you can intentionally do that, because we were talking about that back here in the studio while you were breaking all these records. We're like, you think she's doing this on purpose, just, holding just a little bit back every time, knowing that she breaks that world record? I didn't think you could do it, because of 50, you just got to always give it your all. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, you can't really tell for sure what's going to happen, when you finish, but I was just trying to just base it off of effort level and just give it a little bit more or each time and just kind of control myself. But it was something I had never done before, but it was interesting.
Now, we've been flashing that famous photo of you holding that big $100,000 check. After you went through what you went through in 2008, can you explain, the financial crunch that may have put you in and how this money really helps?
Yeah, it was draining on my savings to go through 2008. I had tons of attorney fees and just going through. I think I had 6 legal cases going on in my life at once. A couple of them were personal, but it was huge. And thankfully I had been saving my whole life. With any money I ever made, I put most of it into savings. So I was able to take care of myself with just only a little bit of help from my parents. And that, it meant a lot to me to be able to do that, because I'm only 22 and most people my age are just struggling looking for jobs, but I was able to take care of myself in a crisis in my life. And then now this year to have made some money, feels good to rebuild my savings back up. I have to say I did just get a new car, so I'm not saving as much as I probably, would have in the past, but it just feels great to be back making a positive out of my career instead of spending all my money.
What kind of car did you go with?
I got a new Lexus convertible.
Nice.
It's really cool. I'm really excited.
All right, times are good.
Yeah.
Since your reemergence onto the world stage as, easily one of the world's best swimmers, have any sponsors approached you again and they want to do business with Jessica Hardy?
I'm actually in kind of an unfortunate situation because I'm still not eligible for the 2012 Olympics because of the IOC's Rule 45. So sponsors, have started making contact and stuff in the past couple weeks, but I am in a rough place because I can't sign long-term contracts because I don't know for sure that I'm going to be able to go to the Olympics. I can hope for the best, and I can promise them that I'll be the fastest I can be that year, even if I don't get to go to the Olympics. But I'm just hoping for the best. I'm happy with my career, and if I sign sponsors, that's great. And if I don't, I'm in it to swim, and I love the sport.
All right, one more day to go for our special look back at the biggest stories of 2009. Tomorrow on the show, a series of international interviews that we did on the Morning Swim Show this year. Until then, I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.